But if you look at data, the amount of money laundered through blockchain and crypto sector, and blockchain is the traceable technology unlike fiat, is only 0.02% of global money laundered. And most of it happens through traditional channels, right, globally. And these are data published by US financial crime agencies. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is a very respected central bank, last year published a report to say majority of money laundered in Singapore is through traditional channels. But that narrative is lost, right? They choose to, for things that people don't understand, they choose to focus on just the negative part of it without understanding that, look, I can trace where the money goes to. And we spend a lot of effort educating law enforcement agencies globally on that front. Last year, we conducted close to 100 classes, both physical as well as virtual classes for law enforcement agencies around the world to highlight to them how do you use the techniques, how do you use this technology to bring about greater enforcement actions and better decision making.
And in terms of, so I appreciate it's kind of Goldilocks problem, like you don't want it to rulemaking to be too rigid nor too fluid. Is there any kind of jurisdiction that you would point to, just in one word, that you think is kind of whose porridge is most delicious?
I would say that I've dealt with quite a number. So normally where is one agency, and normally you're dealing with the smaller countries, where one agency is in charge of both the banking, securities, and insurance market space, they come up with the best policy, normally, because they are in control of all the different arms of regulations. Unlike, for example, US is such a big country and you have different agencies involved and they can't agree who is the primary regulator. Those are the situations that you face a lot of challenges.
Okay. Yeah. And Brad, before we move on from this question around the regulatory landscape, I just want to ask you kind of, to what extent is a kind of optimal regulatory regime the be-all and end-all here? It's something that comes up time and again in discussions around the pieces of the puzzle that need to align for crypto to kind of realize its kind of ultimate potential.
Yeah.
To what extent is regulation be-all and end-all, and to what extent do other factors need to be fit in?
Well, I don't think it's the be-all, end-all. I mean, I agree. Christian Carlos on stage earlier and commented on the U.S. regulatory environment that like you're trying to regulate things we don't fully understand the implications of, right? Had the U.S. tried to regulate TCP/IP or HTTP in 1992, like, well, we don't understand how these technologies are going to be used.